Hi guys, Alicia with Working Dog Radio, Torchlight Canine, and Oil Capital Canine Fund. Thank you guys for tuning in to another awesome episode. Please check us out on YouTube. It's a new format for us. We'd love to have you as a subscriber. We're going to start doing some training videos and some other cool stuff on there. So we would really appreciate your follow on there. We'd like to take a second to thank our amazing sponsors. Without them, none of this would be possible. So guys, please check out Kinetic Dog Food, 513-615-6904. They are amazing. Horizon Structures, everything mild to wild in a dog kennel. They have it. They will drop it off at your door. Give them a call at 888-447-4337. If you guys haven't checked out Highland Canine Training yet, what are you waiting for? Jason and Aaron are amazing. They've got all kinds of courses, classes, and schools going on. Please check out Highland Canine Training at Tactical Police, the letter K, the number 9, training.com. Ray Allen Manufacturing, right there in Colorado. Everything is sewn there. They are amazing. They do so many collaborations with so many of the actual working canine guys in our industry, including me. Give them a shout. Check them out at rayallen.com and use the discount code WDR10RAY for 10%, all things Ray Allen. Dogtra.com. If you have an e-collar, if you use an e-collar, if you have a working dog or a pet dog, check out Dogtra. They've got all of the products that you need. You can go to Dogtra.com and use discount code WDR10 for 10% off a single item over $200. Enjoy the episode. We'll be back. Thanks.
All right, we are back. Working Dog Radio, broadcasting the bite. Depending on when this uploads and airs and everything else, we're still in Myrtle Beach, kind of like rolling around and talking to people. I went to some classes today. Eric taught his second course again today. It was pretty good. I always love the if you use food for training, regardless of how you do it, it does not change your sexuality.
Yeah.
Dude, it's not like you get a Subaru.
It's if you've been through my thing, you know the joke he's talking about, but it's just a weird thing in the working dog world, man. Yeah. It's strange. Nobody does it. So anyways, we are with Joe Lutkowski, who is the founder, I guess you would say, and the owner of this conference. Hold the line. What year have we been doing this now?
Since 2018.
2018 with Pittsburgh, St. Louis, back to Pittsburgh.
Yeah. Now we're here,
a couple of years in Myrtle Beach. Yep. Good turnout this year, man.
Yeah, we had a good turnout. Yeah, it was one of our best years. We'll keep growing every year, little by little, and it's going well. So I think it's the location. Myrtle Beach, guys like the location, I think. Yeah. It's sunny, warm. It's better than Pennsylvania.
They make money at the bar here.
Yes, they do.
Yes, they
do. Downtown too, like in Broadway's right behind us. It's pretty nice. Right. It's pretty good setup here.
You know what? Something funny I've been doing in my class. I ask, "Is there any locals in the class?" Yeah. Like, and they raise their hand. Local cops. I'm like, "Were you born here?" And they're like, "Yeah." "How old are you?" 36. And I'm doing math. I'm like, well, I lived here, and my son will be 34 at the end of the month. He's from a stripper that I was sleeping with back in the day. So I'm like, if you're like 35, 33, or 30, I got to know your mom's name. If you're from here, you got to tell me.
Like not,
and you look like me.
It's her real name.
Because my son looks just like me. I have a lot of memories on the Ferris wheel here. I got a lot going on in my beach, so it's close to my heart.
Yeah, you like it here. You like it. You want to do it again here next year.
Right.
Close to my heart.
So this year, what did you do differently? Some different classes, right?
Yeah, we brought in some new instructors. I mean, with the advice of some of the guys I trust in the industry, like yourself. I mean, you had a conversation, and that's kind of how we, get new instructors. I respect guys in the industry like you guys, and you call me up and say, Joe, you might want to look at this guy, and that's how we got DJ Holmes here, and his class went really well. A couple of guys that I trained with, they went to it and they said it was. I'm doing this wrong. Joe, you don't do this. I'm a trainer sucks. No, I'm the bad trainer. But it's okay because, that's what this is about. I mean, I am not the guru of everything. So, I mean, that's why these guys go to class. I encourage them, hey, bring it back. Like if we're doing something screwed up, I mean, let's fix it, you know?
Yeah.
So
I sat in DJ's class, and it's about the false response, right?
Yeah.
And things that you're doing that cause that, right? You're teaching that stuff in there. And I'm telling you, I was sitting next to, were you in there?
Yeah, I was sitting next to you.
I go, dude, I don't do what he's saying. I fucked this up.
Yeah.
Like, we train hundreds and hundreds
Yes.
of dogs, and I'm like, I don't do that. And I guess I should probably do that.
Yeah.
And because it makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it just because the guy says so. But when he's doing it and you watch him in the videos, what he's doing, and the dog's not false alerting,
Mm-hmm.
I told Larry, I was sitting next to Larry, I go, oh, my dog would definitely would have sat on that.
Yeah.
So it's a great class. I told him, I said, if you put false anything in the title, you can get people in the class.
Yeah. It wouldn't, like I said, the guys that I talked to, everybody was braving about it. They said, you got to get him back. I'm like, yeah. So, but that's how we bring new instructors in. I mean, it's, you know, word of mouth from guys that I respect in the industry. So that's how I kind of, because you got to keep changing it up. I mean, we can't have the same instructors. I'd love to, because there's a lot of good instructors here, but it's good to change it up, get some different classes and just some different, you know, theories and you know, it's because it's an evolution. It's always changing, and there's always new stuff on the market there, you know, that we could learn from. Because guys do different things here. You know, on the West Coast, East Coast, we kind of do things a little bit differently. So that's good.
Well, and I noticed a couple of the guys that are pretty much staples, they change the class. They put different classes in there.
Yeah. And that's like kind of because I when I call these the instructors that we have here, and they're great instructors. So it's like, I'm like, hey, you're a great instructor. Let's change it up and do something like Jim O'Brien. He did the bite table for us the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's like, let's do a muzzle class. And a couple of guys went to the muzzle class. They go, man, it was great. You know, so it's good to have that core of like good instructors. And then, because, you know, if you know e-collar, but you probably know 1,000 other things that you could instruct on.
Yeah.
So it's, you know, it's good to pick that. So you get the good core instructors and, you know, different topics every year. I think it keeps it fresh and motivates guys to come, you know.
What? So let's talk about you and your career.
Yeah.
How many dogs you on?
I'm on my third dog.
Yep, and this is it, right?
This is it. He's just turned 9, and he's getting old. He's an old
good,
boy.
though?
He's very healthy. Knock on wood. He's really. I got lucky with him. I mean, he's a good social dog, and you know, but he's good on the street too. So it's a good combo.
Yeah, you've had him the entire time you've been doing this.
Yeah. I got him in 17. Yeah, it's about 17.
Fuck, shit.
Yeah, we're getting there. And I just recently retired. I went into the drop plan, or drop program. So as of March 1st, so I could retire pretty much any time.
Yeah. How many years are you going to do in the drop, you think?
I'd like to say 3.
Yeah.
You know, so far it's been going good. I still work night shift. I still work the dog. So, you know, I'm going to try for 3. That's my goal.
Mm-hmm.
But you never know. And that's what my goal is, to work for 3 more years and hopefully then maybe retire south. That's kind of where I want to go. Warm weather. I'm kind of sick of the snow and rain and gloomy Pennsylvania every day. It seems like every day.
Like Ted and I walked over to Fuddruckers for lunch. I go, what is this orange thing in the sky? In Ohio, we don't get as much.
Yeah.
Like you can do anything when the sun's out in Ohio. Like, this is the greatest day ever. It's -4. The sun's out. Though.
Yeah, exactly.
And like where Ted's at in Oklahoma is weird because the summer is being on the surface of the sun.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
But it's not the South. It's like in a weird spot. If you listen to the episode with Michael Kamisic on it, the wind was so bad, it sounds like he has a witch in the microphone. You can hear it. So the weather extremes in Tulsa is wild.
And we had a tornado yesterday morning. So
yeah, that's
crushed a bunch of houses.
You gonna stay in Tulsa forever, you think?
I don't know. I mean, I may buy a house in like Costa Rica or something and go back and forth. I don't know.
You never know.
That's a ways
You're
off
young.
for me.
Yeah, you're young.
That's a ways off. I haven't thought that far ahead.
Yeah.
So let's talk about, what does that mean for handlers, by handlers? What does that mean to you?
I mean, that's kind of like why I started this, because I mean, I'm still a handler, and I think it's for handlers is our motto because it's for the guys here. It's not for Joe Lutkowski show. I always say that, and when I talk to guys, it's like it's for them, and I try to get their input. I try to take as much feedback from handlers because we send out like a critique form. And what do you guys want? What do you guys want to see? Because it's not for me, it's for you guys. So I'm a handler and I want to pass it on, and I don't instruct obviously, but I just think, it's important for me as a handler to it keeps me like kind of in the industry. You know what I mean? So once I fully retire, I could still keep, because I love Canine's been great for me. I have a great career. I've met a lot of great people in this industry, and I kind of want to stay in it. And it's kind of my way of staying in it. Like if all goes well, but for, that's kind of like how we started it. For handlers, by handlers. It's like, what could we do to teach other handlers to go home at night and safe, and, just different techniques on how to make their dogs better.
I do notice that guys, when they come to this, for the vendors that are in there, the guys spend money. You see them buying stuff.
Yeah.
And what is advantage like for a vendor to come here? Small or big, it doesn't really matter.
Well, I think, if you could come down to Myrtle Beach, you get a different variety of guys that, maybe some of the other conferences, you get different areas. So it gives them, just a different, pool of guys to choose from. And I think that's important for vendors to come. I mean, it's, you got the whole South, and like we pulled guys from California this year, Oregon, Colorado. So it's not just Myrtle Beach area or the South. It's like we're starting to pull guys from all over. So you get to see different guys. And I think it's good for the vendors to, have an opportunity to meet different people from different areas,
Yeah, because so like Alpha Canine that's here.
Yeah,
He that kid is a handler. He does a really cool. He makes leashes and collars and a lot of different things you make that you want. He makes them right here. He's like got the machine. He's doing it right here. Every time I see that kid over there, he's making more,
Crazy.
making more. So for him, it's worth it to come.
And he drove 25 hours straight to get here.
Wow.
25 hours, like nonstop.
From where? Hawaii?
No, from like out in Arizona. Mexico area.
Yeah, good kid.
Yeah, good kid. Isaac's a good dude.
His good stuff. His stuff is good. I bought a bunch of class like Cobra buckle type collars from him last year for all my trainers for the personal dogs. Everybody a different color.
Right.
His stuff is really good.
Yeah, and it's nice. It's customized, and like you said, he makes it right here.
Yeah.
I mean, he's here at like 6:30 in the morning, just making leashes. He's like, I got to get in. I'm like, all right, Isaac, it's going to cost you. But I joke with him. But he's doing. Yeah, he makes some.
Take a fucking break, dude.
Yeah, no, but he's got to make the order.
I know.
So he's really hustling. He's a good guy. He's he's a cop, so it's nice to see him doing that. And
we had Brianna Smith on a little bit ago, Brad Smith's daughter from doing the Skids Canine Tack Ops. Did you ever go through that?
Back with my first dog, I went years with Flip. So she asked me when I went through, and I was like, it's been a minute, so.
Your first dog, what was President Kennedy like? Was there hope?
Yeah, how about it? I'm an old guy, but
that's hilarious. That's hilarious. Now, this dog here, you're retiring. What do you like right now? Are you just cruising, running, chasing? You were talking about a chase the other day. Like, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah. We got in a pursuit the other night at work, and I'm like, what am I doing? It wasn't our pursuit, but it was the local. We got involved, and but we're still
adrenaline's adrenaline, brother.
It is. It's still like. And, I felt like a little kid again. Like, my first day on the job, I'm like, all right, I got to get the spike strips out, because we didn't have them back then. I mean, but we ended up, then the kid bailed, and, I ended up getting a track, and we went to his house, but it was good. I mean, so I'm still, we did a search warrant, and we got like 4.5 pounds of weed, and it was good. Yeah, it was good. Still illegal.
Even in the mountains.
And he got a bunch of coke. But so we're still... it gets you motivated again, It's still, I still work night shift. I work steady nights.
I'm just more tired. That's all.
Yeah, I'm always tired. When guys come and register and I forget a couple things and they're like, Joe, you messed up. I'm like, probably night shift. I kind of blame night shift because sometimes I'm half asleep when I'm trying to do things, and it's hard to juggle, keep track of everything, but we do our best. And, I have a good team, thank God I have a good team. Like, Josh and Lori, they come down, and, Jillian does our social media. So I'm very fortunate to have a good core of people around me. So
and well, here's the thing, and Ted and I were talking about this the other day. It's I'm sure there's things and problems and things that have come up. It's been pretty seamless though.
Yeah,
like behind the scenes, it's a pain in the ass, but you make it look good, dude.
Yeah, I mean, it's this one's been challenging, but I mean, we try to kind of keep the problems, not problems, but issues, try to in-house and just kind of just smooth out and try to run it smooth. And for the most part, it usually ends up working out. Like, we always worry about, we need more of this, more of that. But it seems like once we start, kind of everything falls into pieces. And, because it's like a year, so we'll start planning for next year, like next week. So it's, there's no really downtime because we have to start getting raffle prizes, stuff for the bags. And so it's, because we want to give as much as we could away for guys. Because, I mean, guys like to come to conferences and get some stuff and, win some free stuff. So we'll start planning. Like I said, probably next week we'll start going at it again and, trying to get new vendors and, we're trying to always get new instructors and try to make it fresh and keep it going. So it's always different every year,
What's next year then?
Well, we're going to be here again. Myrtle Beach guys kind of like the Myrtle Beach area. So next April 14th, 15th, and 16th, we're going to be right back, same location.
Good hotel.
Yeah,
Nice.
the hotel is very cop friendly. They like us here. They want to keep us here. They love the event here because there was an event over the weekend and there was 4,500 cheerleaders.
Oh my God.
And it was a little loud and crazy, and there was glitter everywhere.
Why can't we do that at the same time?
Yeah, because it's a nightmare.
During our conference, if glitter is coming out, it's different.
Yeah,
I brought it home with me from the club.
Right.
I'll tell you, the thing that I appreciate about this location in particular, is the rooms aren't that far. Like, I've been to some of these where I gotta get a fucking Uber to get back to my hotel room.
Yeah,
so
right.
if I get down to the conference hall or down here recording and I'm like, I left something in my room, I'm like, fuck it. It's like a 15-minute walk one direction.
Yeah,
I'm like, so
yeah, it's a nice hotel, and they just remodeled everything, so it's all new. I think there's like 1 or 2 more floors they're doing, but it's all like updated. So it's a pretty nice hotel, and the convention center has been really good to us, and so it's definitely a cop friendly area.
Mm-hmm.
We had a couple local businesses donate free appetizers, free drinks for guys to come in, and it's just a nice area to be in that part of that. Because we've been to some areas where they're not really too cop friendly.
Yeah. What?
Well, I don't want to say.
I will.
Well, you were there.
I saw somebody got shot.
Right.
Right. Pittsburgh, the parking Nazis.
Yeah, Pittsburgh, the parking was crazy. So, so the parking's pretty good here.
Oh, yeah.
So that's a good thing. So,
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, man. 14, 15, 16?
Yes, sir.
2026.
Yes, sir.
2026. Ted, you got anything?
No, I'll probably be here next year too. So
good,
we'll be back. I mean,
good. I appreciate it. We'll get both you guys to instruct, and that's
good to go.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys.
Thanks, buddy.
Thank you so much.
Yep.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Hey guys, it's me again, back with some more awesome sponsors. I want to talk a little bit about Ray Allen Canine Manufacturing. Who else in our industry allows us to come to them with ideas as handlers, as dog professionals, and say, you know what, I think I would like to make this, or wouldn't this be a good idea? And they will actually sit down with you and talk to you about your designs. I've got a collab with them on a muzzle, on a leash and a collar. They're amazing to work with. Their products are top notch. They're made in America, in Colorado, and we love Matt. So give them a holler, check them out on socials at Ray Allen, the letter K, the number 9, or visit them online at rayallen.com and use our discount code WDR10 RAY for 10% off. Guys, have you visited Dogtra lately? If you go to Dogtra, they have their new online portal, and it's really cool, very user-friendly. You don't have to call them and order them anymore. You can go to mydogtra.com, and they have everything there. You can set up an online profile. They keep your orders. They know what you've used. We use everything, their ball droppers and poppers. We use their e-collars, their 1900S hands-free for our officers, their Q and their 280 for our pet clients. We use all of their products all the time. Eric travels around and does seminars specific to Dogtra, so you can have him come in and teach a class on how to use it. Check them out, dogtra.com, and follow them on their socials. We love kinetic dog food. Ted has been using the large format. It makes excellent tracking treats. He uses it for teaching article indication. It's these huge nuggets of food that you can lay down, grab, put in your trainer's pouch. The quality is excellent. We love Debbie and Dave. We have a great relationship with them. They want to know you. They will talk to you about nutrition, about what your dog's needs are. They'll help get you set up. Their food is available everywhere. We've gotten it off of Chewy. You can buy it at stores. Please check them out, kineticdogfood.com. Your dog needs these nutrients, and they are really specific to our industry's needs. They have a full line of supplements now. Please check them out. We'll have some soon that we can give away. Go check them out. Follow them on their socials at Kinetic Dog Food. They'll really appreciate that.
All right, everybody, we are back, Working Dog Radio, broadcasting the bite from Myrtle Beach at the Hold the Line Conference of 2025. My name is usual. I haven't changed it. It's Eric Stambro, and with me is Ted Summers. If you're looking at this video on YouTube, please go click the like and subscribe. If you're not listening to it on YouTube, please go do that and click like and help us like and surprise, bitch.
Exactly.
Subscribe and help us out. I just finished teaching my second class. Had a good time doing that. It's really a 3-hour lecture that I cram into 2 hours, but I got it down to you're going to be there the entire 2 hours, all the way till on the button. But Ted, what's been going on?
Nothing. Went to a lot of classes. I've been like popping in and out. There's some. I didn't instruct this time. I talked to Joe, and I think I've instructed every single one of these in all 3 cities, so St. Louis, Pittsburgh, and Myrtle Beach. So I was like, let's take a break for a couple of years, and I can come back and do it. But there's been some new guys here. I think there was like 5 or 6 new classes or something, and then there was some repeat instructors that also had new classes. So. Which is good. So if you're not like, if you've been here before, if you've been in the past and you're like, I've already seen these dudes, or I know these guys, like a lot of the guys have been teaching, like Nesbitt taught a class like from puppy to patrol dog, right? And he taught like some other stuff in the past. So, it was nice to see, like cycling it. So, but this podcast has been around since, I don't know, we're in episode 2, we're in the mid 240s or 50s or whatever. It is a long time. One of the guys that we never had on that I kind of regret, there's a couple actually that I kind of regret, and I've lost the opportunity. And it wasn't for anything else than we just didn't ever have our like ducks in a row or our like timing calendars synced up or whatever else. Was Brad Smith from Skids. And guys like him and Terry Fleck, it's really hard to understate like how the commitment that they had to the industry and like the effect that they had. I mean, even today, like Michael Kamisik, who was on recently, again, who's also here instructing, has picked up the torch for Terry Fleck and has done a great job. And so unfortunately, late last year, Brad Smith passed away, and we kind of had a like, oh, what's going to happen with Skids and whatever else, because it was such a like a groundbreaking kind of industry leading first of its kind course. And we're like, shit, what's going to happen now? So today we have on Brianna Smith, who is Brad Smith's daughter, who has picked up that torch for Skids. So Brianna, how are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. So give us a little bit of your background, and then we're going to talk about Skids and where it's at right now.
Yeah. So obviously my dad, Brad, he started this company back in the early 90s. Like you said, kind of groundbreaking with his thought processes of taking a canine and what the canine can do and taking what the SWAT guys want to do, go in guns blazing, everything like that, and merge those two ideals together. So I grew up around dogs, obviously, with him. I remember going to Adlerhorst in Southern California and getting in the passenger seat of his Crown Vic and going with him to training. Yeah. So throwback for sure. Probably wasn't very much in policy, but West Covina can forgive us for that one for sure. So he obviously had that, huge commitment to it, loved doing what he did with the dogs. But on top of that, it wasn't just what he did with the dogs. It was about what the dogs could do for us as police officers and getting everybody home safe at the end of the day. That's ultimately what his goal was. He didn't care if 2 people showed up to a class and they took that back to their agency and implemented some of what they learned in the class. So a little bit about myself. I am a police officer in Southern California. I am a handler myself. I am the explosive side, so I have a bomb dog, but handling is handling to a certain extent. I myself do not teach the classes. I'm just back of the house admin, keeping the program going because he did have such an amazing program. And I want to continue that. And we have a team of over 30 instructors across the United States that know his program, know what he teaches, and are continuing to help me out in teaching that still to this day. So,
it's funny. I was talking to a buddy of mine, Scott, that's here, and he goes, "Hey, you guys doing some more episodes?" And I told him we were going to have you on. And he goes, "Man, I was over there talking to her," and he goes, "I actually got choked up." He says because
he did, yes,
because he said, back in the day. He was the only one doing it. Yeah. Your dad was the only one doing it. Yeah. We were talking yesterday just to kind of guess you were in like the 30,000 mark of people that had been through. We've been to 5 different countries. Obviously, United States is the main one that we're in, but we've been to Brazil, Australia, Canada, a couple other places. Did you get to hitch a ride on any of those?
I didn't. No, I did not. No.
Bummer.
It's okay. It's all right.
Australia, come on down.
It's all right. I know, right? And so we've been able to do that. Countless law enforcement agencies that we've been a part of. And that's kind of the cool thing that now I'm able to come to all these conferences that we're going to, because I've had people come up to me, and that's my favorite part, is when they tell me the stories.
Oh, yeah.
And same thing, like, so I got all choked up. So far I haven't cried at this conference, but every conference leading up till I've given a little couple tears, because people come up to me and they tell me these stories about how Brad has impacted their life and the things that he's done, the things that he's taught them, and that they've been able to go home to their families. I'll never forget, one guy came up to me and he said, "I'm literally not in jail because of your father."
Oh, geez.
Because on top of just the tactics that he taught and everything like that, we also do consulting with our business. So the criminal liability, obviously, we all know how depots can go and how crazy the world is to this day. And the things that he did and the things that he presented within court for that side of it, for the
like the officers and lawsuits and the legal side
exactly.
of it.
Incredible impacts that he's made on people's lives. So it's definitely amazing.
You had a lot of your trainers or your handlers all young. Did any of them get to go through that?
I haven't. I mean, I've had handlers go through skids in like Kansas City and Chicago and the Dallas area and some other places. But most of those dudes now, if you're listening to this, you know what I'm talking about. But they're no longer handlers anymore because they're now like shiny shoes and stripes dudes.
Lobotomy, you mean?
Yeah, exactly. Well, no, they're admins actually. A lot of the younger guys, and that's what I was going to kind of lead into this next section of this, because for the younger generation or the younger handlers that don't know who Brad is, there's a lot of, or they don't even know what Skids is. There's a lot of other like people out teaching a lot of the similar things and a lot of the similar things that are going on in a lot of the other seminars that were a lot of the things that guys like Brad and Daryl Gaunt and those dudes. Yes. Yep. And so with that said, like kind of give people like a background of what Skids is.
Yeah.
Because you have Skids and you guys are still doing the Cats program.
We have Cats and we have TMAC, and then we have another Cats program as well. So within the company, we have 4 different types of classes that we offer. So Skids and Cats kind of go hand in hand with each other. The Skids is the SWAT interacting during deployment school. SWAT and Canine interacting during deployment school. And then our Cats is the Canine tactical school. So that we put those two together. So the Cats is just taking the canines and patrol officers, what you're going to do on a normal daily basis, deploying your dog on a 459 or whatever the case is. And then the Skids is those SWAT deployments, a little bit more high risk kind of situations. And then we have a tactical tracking, and then we have just the movement without a dog. So we do offer a couple different classes. Those other 2 are just a 2-day course, but the Skids and the Cats is a 3-day course. So over 75% of our class is all hands on. We do not like downtime. We don't like to just have guys and gals standing around while they're doing our training. So we don't want to waste your money. If you're going to spend good money on us, we want to make sure you're getting good quality training. And so we do a PowerPoint portion where we talk about just some of the basics, everything that's in our book as well that we talk about in our class can be read in our book. If you're an agency that doesn't have enough funding or whatever the case is, you can come and get our book on our website. But the class goes 4 to 5 hours of PowerPoint talking about movements and everything like that. We also go into a little bit of legal stuff and talking about what we do after the bite, everything that still goes into that. And then the rest of that is all hands on. So the next 2.5 days, you have the dog out. We're doing things with the SWAT guys and gals. We're moving in buildings. We're doing vehicle assaults, crawl spaces, attics. I mean, you think of it, we've done it in some respect to get that training in for these teams when they come to our class.
So I guess because, and this is the big like misnomer. So for patrol, like I think everyone listening to this that handles a dual purpose dog knows that we have state standards and national standards. They're all kind of similar, right? And SWAT is a varied kind of environment. Like, so for example, I know that like the teams in Miami-Dade County are doing a lot different things than guys in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Absolutely.
So if they want the instructors to come out and want you guys to come out, will they tailor specific exercises for the teams, like what they normally routinely call this? Because like I can tell, like I know guys in like Southern Florida, well, definitely in Southern California, don't track a whole lot.
Do not. No, we do not.
But then like out in like Nebraska and, you know, the rest of the country or like Oklahoma, our guys track all the time. Texas, big tracking as well.
Yep.
The South is a huge tracking place too. So you'll have you can have components that come in, so it's not just like a set curriculum.
Absolutely. And that's one of the things we talk about in our class is that we go by the NTOA standards and we talk about that to make sure that teams are aware of that. So if teams want to include a range portion within the class, we can absolutely do that. If they want to include a tracking portion, we can do that. I was just talking to a couple of the guys from South Florida at the conference, and they were saying that they would like to possibly include water deployments. We'd love to do that. We do have guys and gals that have trained on that, and so we're able to incorporate.
I don't know about getting in the water in Florida. I don't know about that.
I won't be a decoy for it, so it's fine.
Yeah, saltwater.
I'm not getting no pond.
We did an HRD somewhere. I remember you were there for that one, Eric, where they were talking about they watched an alligator eat that dude on FLIR.
Well, they have 2 alligators split the guy in half.
Yeah. Could have really not want to go to jail.
I guess is that better than a dog bite, or is that worse
I don't know.
than a
I
dog
would love to
bite?
see it. That was a FLIR they were not showing us.
I guess that wouldn't be a liability on the city's part then, right? No, it's fine.
You should have stopped. Should have stopped.
Yeah. So
I don't know if I get in the water in Florida.
We will definitely tailor it to the needs of that department. Whether you have a 10-year dog that's been with you for 6, 7, 8 years, whatever the case is, or a brand new dog that's been out of basic for 5 months, as long as they have passed basic, they can attend our course, and we can tailor and that's the great thing is our instructors are so well versed that we will tailor those environments and those training scenarios to that dog's specific needs. So it just depends on the handlers and the communication that the handlers have when they attend with our instructors, and we'll give them good quality training for sure.
So if I'm a handler at an agency that does have a SWAT team, but they're not going to let them come because of manpower, can I join a class somewhere?
Absolutely.
I don't need to bring my whole team?
No, you don't need to bring your whole team. We do encourage it. Obviously, the whole purpose is the SWAT and canines together. Mm-hmm. But if you have a good canine handler that wants to come out, learn something, and is willing to then bring it back, which they should be doing, bring it back to the city and the department, absolutely. They can attend without a SWAT player or SWAT operator. We encourage it, but it's not mandatory.
Do you ever have a need for just SWAT guys to come out and help?
We have had agencies just send their SWAT guys.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we absolutely have. And they get good training. And whether it's just like maybe that I had it where the agency, the dog went down. And so they still wanted to attend. So great, send 2 or 3 of your SWAT people. We'll bring it back. It's totally fine.
I actually had a department before they bought their dog from me because they wanted this dog on the unit. And they had a bunch of patrol dogs already from us. They had like 6 patrol dogs from us. One of my handlers' dogs retired, and then he went to SWAT. He was there for 4 years on that team, active unit before and this was the plan from the beginning. And then he was going to get another dog that was dedicated to the unit, and they'd never had one on the unit. And I told him, I was like, before we do this, like go to Skids as a team.
Sure.
And run the dogs that are there. Yeah. And then take what you've learned there with your TTPs and all your protocols and all the stuff that you guys do, and then decide what you want.
Absolutely.
And that was when people ask me now, they're like, oh, well, this is outside of the scope of the conversation about what the difference between a patrol dog and a SWAT dog is. But when they start asking those kind of questions, they're like, before we do this, you need to go. And I sent them to Skids. There's a couple other courses, but I was like, Skids is one of them. I was like, go take the team, or at least send 2 or 3 guys to that first.
Yes.
Before you commit to doing this, so that you kind of have an idea of what you want, because the other side of the coin is they start talking to the vendor and they're like, they don't really know what they want or what they need. And because departments are so varied, like what guys in South Florida need versus Louisiana versus Texas versus Washington State. I just had some dudes that were integrated in Spokane, and they were up in Edmonton with us, and super squared away guys. But then talking to them, their SWAT guys have their own idea of what they wanted. And I'm sure they have been to Skids. I didn't ask them, but I could tell from the way that the handlers were handling that they had some exposure to it before. Okay. So yeah, I mean, so if you're listening to this and you're on a team, if you're listening to this and you're a canine handler and you're advocating for the dog going onto a unit, because they're not going to listen to you because you're the dog guy. So instead, send them to one of these courses, like send your SWAT guys or send like your senior guys to one of these courses then you can go too. I mean, you can take your dog if you want, but just send them, and then everybody have a powwow and make a wish list and go to your vendor, whoever it is, and say, this is what we want. Right.
Because then you're getting exposed not only just to seeing all those other dogs that are now in this environment, you can chat. It's the network, right? You can chat with these guys that are on these SWAT teams from bigger agencies and see what works for you in this environment so that they, like you said, they can take it back. And that's the other great thing too, is that just because it's a SWAT and canine interacting during deployment, there should be no difference between deploying your dog on a patrol level to deploying your dog on a SWAT level. Yes, these guys are going to be more highly trained, but everybody should go home at the end of the day.
Right.
So there should be some very huge similarities between the deployments. So making sure that your dog can do that and that the patrol guys and gals know what they're talking about as well. So we don't necessarily just need to have SWAT people coming. We can absolutely be having patrol personnel. If your agency doesn't have a SWAT team, send some patrol people over and have them come out, send a corporal or a detective or whatever the case is and have them come out and train with us as well.
Yeah, that's Eric's deal. Like, I mean, at Eric's old department, they didn't like, when you're in the academy, they don't teach you how to clear buildings. It was
pretty, well, it was just like, I was on SWAT and we would be clearing buildings on patrol more than we did on SWAT.
Right, absolutely.
And the guys on patrol didn't know how we were doing it. And I remember reaching out to the lieutenant once. I go, dude, why aren't we teaching the patrol guys so that when I'm working with them, they clear the way we clear? And he goes, oh, you can't trust them. You can't tell them, like it was secret. And I'm like, no, dude, they already are doing more than
This
you
is
are.
what we're doing.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
And let's be honest, they teach 18-year-old Marines to do it.
They're just, they just acted like
The Marines are showing up to
they acted like they were going to lose
us.
their position if lose the whatever for SWAT. Now, so I'm going to reach out to you. I'm a SWAT commander or whatever. One of the things that they're going to ask you is, what do I need? Like, what kind of facility? What are you looking at? But if they want to get their ducks in a row before they call you.
Yeah. So within it, it ultimately depends on the size of the class. We take a minimum of 20 people, up to 35, 45. We can go that big. We're not afraid of a big
You
class.
bring in more people to help.
We just bring in more instructors. Yeah, we're totally fine with it. So we'll need facilities, obviously, to train. If they're closer in proximity, that's better. On average, we're having at least 3 to 4 groups per class. Mm-hmm. So if you have abandoned schools, abandoned warehouses that have different pockets and areas that, we can seclude this area off and then another team can be this way. Another team is tracking outside. We just facilities that we can use to do building clearing, things like that. That would be best. Yeah.
Yeah. And everybody, if they ask around, look around, they can get it. Some places already have that. I have that.
Correct. Yes,
a place like that at my place. So what are the other, you mentioned a few things you guys offer.
Yeah, so we have one other class that's just tactical tracking. So it's a 2-day course where that's all we're doing. We're not teaching you how to track. We're teaching you how to track tactfully.
With the guys.
With the guys, yes. And then you mentioned that in your academy, they're not teaching movements and how to clear buildings.
Correct.
We have a 2-day class that is just on how to clear buildings. Nice. No dogs involved at all. But again, making sure guys and gals are getting home safe at the end of the day. So,
that's awesome.
So those are the classes that we offer at this point. Yeah.
So all the guys that taught for you over the years, or for your dad, first of all, did your dad try to shelter you from cops? Like, you ain't dating no cops.
No. When I told him I was going into the academy, he was so excited. Okay. He couldn't have been more proud of me. So
did he tell you to date doctors or some shit?
No, no, he didn't.
My daughter said, "Yeah, you ain't meeting anybody, dude. Stop it."
No, my husband's a Marine and a cop right now as well. So yeah, he's all right with it though. Yeah.
So after your dad passed and everybody in the world reached out to you, when did you decide, hey, we got to? Was it immediate? Had you talked to your dad about this?
So dad got diagnosed with pancreatic cancer in 2022. Mm-hmm. So doctors told him that pancreatic cancer you have 6 months to live. But luckily, they caught it early enough. He came home from a class one day and my stepmom, Kathy, she's an absolute godsend. She looked at him and was like, "Why do you look like Big Bird? You are literally yellow. Yeah, wow. From jaundice." And so I'm fine. I'm just the typical guy, response. And so
I'll sleep it off.
Yeah, I'll sleep it off. I'm just tired from traveling. And she's like, "Nope, we're going to the hospital." So, and that's when they did a bunch of blood work and everything like that and found it. So they did find it early. And so did all the treatments, chemo and everything like that, and just couldn't beat it. And so we knew kind of leading up to it. He had a conversation with me one day and said, "Do you want to do this?" Mm-hmm. And I said I would be honored. Yeah, I would. Yeah. There's nothing more that I would want to do to continue his legacy. So he was able to show me some stuff, just obviously on the admin side. Mm-hmm. And one thing I never worried about was instructing the classes, because I knew the guys that he has on his team are so amazing and so committed to what he has established, and to him, because he was just such an amazing guy. And they tell me, which is kind of silly, they tell me all the time, and I know it myself, is they aren't doing this for me. They're doing this for him and for the future of law enforcement as it comes. So he was able to show me some of the stuff, and we can just keep it going from there. So no, couple little hiccups, but I mean, that's just admin stuff. This year already, we have 11 classes scheduled.
Wow.
So
Nice.
we're on track, hopefully by the end of 2025 to hit 300 classes, which was his goal. He wanted to hit 300 before he passed. So that's my goal for him for this year, is to hopefully hit 300 classes before the end of the year.
So I've seen a lot of people come and talk to you at the booth here, but if they're not at the booth and they're not here, how do they get a hold of you and get this set up?
Yep. So you can reach me on our website. It's the letter K, number 9, tacops.com. So k9tacops.com. You can also reach out to me on our Instagram, letter K, number 9 _ tacops. It's got our logo on it. Give us a follow on that as well. But they can reach out on the website. There's a contact us portion. Reach out there if they're interested in hosting a class. We would love to come out and host. We'll go to any agency, whether they want to have it for their whole area, where their city is, or if they have some little nuances and things that they want to clean up as an agency. If they're just starting their canine program, if they're just starting their SWAT program, we would love to come out and just give them some information, give them some training and tools. None of our instructors claim to know everything, but they can definitely provide different things and different tools to put in their toolbox to hopefully just get them to that next level of training for sure.
Yeah. If you guys can get, and that's the important thing, is get your guys all working together on the same page. If you're going to go, I would say if you're going to go to one of these as a one-off, like you're just going to go join one, you got to be squared away. Because you need to come back and teach the boys. So,
yes, exactly.
So look inward on yourself and say, yeah, I'm that guy, or like, I'm not that guy.
Yeah.
And you'll be doing a disservice afterwards. And then when you go back, please keep it up. Please keep working it. So love having you on. It was great.
Thank you so much, you guys. I really appreciate it. Thank
Absolutely.
you.
No problem. Good job. Keep it going.
Thanks.
All right. We'll see you.
Yeah.